Have you ever noticed how one tiny sentence can flip a switch in someone? Do this, and suddenly, they're not just annoyed, they're different, quiet, cold, defensive, or they snap back with, "Don't tell me what to do." Here's the scary part. It's rarely about the task. It's about what that task means to them. Because for some people, being told what to do doesn't feel like guidance. It feels like control, and control feels like a threat. So what's really going on in the psychology of people who hate being told what to do? Let's decode it. 1. It hits their autonomy like an alarm. Most people like freedom, but for some people, autonomy isn't just a preference, it's emotional oxygen. So when someone tells them what to do, their brain hears something else. You're not in charge. You don't get to choose. You're smaller than me. Psychology calls this reactance. It's the automatic pushback we feel when our freedom feels restricted. That's why even polite advice can trigger resistance if it sounds like a command, even if the advice is correct, even if it helps them, because the emotional brain doesn't care about helpful, it cares about power. And when autonomy feels threatened, they'll do something irrational just to prove they're still free, even if it hurts them, even if they waste time, even if they secretly agree. 2. They grew up around control, criticism, or micromanagement. If someone hates being told what to do, sometimes it's not attitude, it's memory. Maybe they had a parent who didn't guide, they dictated, a teacher who embarrassed them, a household where "because I said so" was the law. So now instructions don't feel neutral, they feel loaded. Their nervous system remembers what control used to lead to: shame, punishment, being talked down to, never being good enough. And here's what's wild. Even if you're kind, even if you're calm, their body reacts like you're the old voice. That's why they don't just refuse the request, they reject the feeling of being managed. It's not stubbornness, it's self-protection. 3. They associate obedience with weakness. Some people built their identity around one thing: I am not someone who gets controlled. So being told what to do doesn't just annoy them, it attacks their self-image. They don't want to feel like a follower. They don't want to look easy to influence. They don't want to become one of those people who just listens. This connects to ego and self-concept. When a command threatens how they see themselves, the brain fights back to restore identity. You'll see it in small moments. They were about to clean the room, but the second you say, "clean the room," they stop. Not because they're lazy, because now it feels like submission. They weren't against the action, they were against the symbolism. 4. They don't trust your intentions. A big reason people resist instructions is simple. They don't believe you're doing it for them. They believe you're doing it for you. They think you want control. You want to feel superior. You want to be right. So every request becomes suspicious. Even neutral phrases like "you should" can sound like judgment, and "just do it this way" can sound like your way is stupid. This is where emotional intelligence matters, because people who dislike being told what to do are hypersensitive to tone, not just words, tone. If your tone carries even a drop of superiority, their walls go up. And once trust drops, cooperation disappears. It becomes a power game, not a conversation. 5. They fear dependency, so they choose resistance. Some people don't just want freedom, they fear needing anyone. So when someone gives them directions, they feel exposed, like they're being guided because they're not capable, like they're slowly becoming dependent. And independence is their armor. This is common in people with avoidance tendencies. They learned early that relying on others comes with a cost. Maybe people disappointed them. Maybe asking for help led to embarrassment. Maybe being vulnerable was used against them. So they trained themselves to handle everything alone, which means when you tell them what to do, their brain doesn't hear support. It hears "you're not enough." And instead of admitting they need help, they resist, because resistance feels like strength, even when it's actually fear. Now here's the twist. People who hate being told what to do aren't always difficult. A lot of them are intense thinkers, strong-willed, highly self-aware, sometimes even creative. They just want one thing: respect. They don't want orders, they want choice. So if you're dealing with someone like this, watch what happens when you change one thing. Instead of saying, "do this," try, "would you rather do it now or later? What's the best way you want to handle it?" Here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? Same goal, different psychology. Because when you give them ownership, you remove the threat. And if you're the person who hates being told what to do, ask yourself something real. Am I protecting my freedom, or am I reacting to an old wound? Because sometimes the loudest "don't tell me what to do" is really saying, I don't want to feel powerless again. The takeaway is simple. Freedom is healthy, but if every suggestion feels like control, you're not living free, you're living triggered. Notice the pattern, name it, and take back your power consciously, not automatically. If this hit a little too close, you're not alone. Like the video if you've ever felt that instant resistance. Comment, what's the fastest way to make you hate a conversation? Being told what to do or being talked down to?